sweet baby, just a sweet baby. Little Artie.
All right, everybody, we wired in. Let's rock. Let's do that thing we do every week. Podcast. Woo! Yeah. Studio audience is loving
energy
it.
on the couch. A little more energy on the couch.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Get a
you.
touch more energy on the couch.
Kara's mic is not even in her hands. Okay.
I haven't gotten my intro yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
go
you.
ahead, intro us.
All right, yeah, classic intro. Here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to What the Podcast. I'm Ryan.
And I'm John.
And together we are...
Ryan and John.
John, cheers. To
Cheers.
the Padres.
Oh, whoa.
I think they're losing right
We
now.
both independently chose
Shut up,
Padres
Annie.
mugs. That's crazy.
The Padres are winning. They're on a hot streak
They have the best record in baseball as of right now.
as of right now. If you started
Kings.
all baseball at this season, we'd be the best team in the whole
Yeah,
MLB.
true.
On the couch as always, Cara Tafolla, my lovely wife.
Hello.
Hi. Good to see you. Thanks for being with us today. And
And we have a dying Annie.
yeah, maybe
next-
if you could just cut that out for the rest of the show. that'd be
Coughing?
great. Yeah.
I went to the doctor today about it, and they were like, you seem fine.
Annie the Skovmand. Always fresh, never frozen.
Don't have strep throat.
You
Don't
seem
worry, guys.
You don't have
No,
strep throat. You're
get-
not 15.
Get this, John.
Yeah.
I went into urgent care.
Uh-huh.
They then assigned me a virtual visit where I FaceTimed a doctor, and he was like, let me look inside your mouth. And I was like,
With
what?
your
He goes,
phone.
He goes, go ahead, hold it
No.
up. So I held
Oh.
my phone up to my mouth like a freaking idiot.
And he's like, yeah,
And then
gotcha.
he goes, can you actually turn towards the window so I can get a little bit more light in there? And in my mind, I was like, why didn't you just see me in person?
He's like, okay, I want to listen to your heart. Put it up to your chest.
Go ahead.
Boom, 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 boom.
No.
It was the weirdest thing. And then he goes, yeah, I could see what you're talking about. Yeah, I'll go ahead. And he then diagnosed, or he didn't diagnose me, but he prescribed me steroids.
Which
And
is
I said,
fine.
That feels really extreme.
Over the phone feels
it's not.
extreme.
Yeah.
Most singers, when they're starting to lose their voices, will get steroid shots
Annie's
Okay.
a singer.
in the
I
boobies.
feel like we need to dissect that.
Yeah.
That's not
You didn't
good.
know that?
That's
No.
It's a very
thing.
it's a quick fix. Literally, people who have like shows on Broadway will get a steroid shot in their butt, and their voice will be back. But it's in the long run, it's really damaging because it just numbs your throat.
It
and-
ends. It's
and
like, yeah,
you don't know what you're doing.
dramatic. Did you know anybody that got it done while we were in theater?
Oh, multiple people.
Shut
yeah.
the hell up.
Same.
For your
Not
Christian
not
youth
me,
theater?
not my brother. Yeah, and
Yeah.
not. But
And they got
people that we know.
steroids.
Yeah,
Well,
really-
yeah, because
pretty
they
dramatic.
we didn't do understudies.
Okay,
In
yeah,
community
but
theater?
it was also
I'll tell you about it after.
community youth theater.
People in my college would get it
Yeah,
done.
you went to a
See,
fake.
that's more understandable.
That
College.
seems a little more understandable. People were doing all kinds of drugs.
They would go to ears, nose, and throat doctors, and they would give them.
I have a
steroid
quick
shots.
follow up
I
for
love-
Annie question for you. Did you take the FaceTime? Did they send you home to get the FaceTime, or did you
They
take it in
said-
the office?
It was so weird because they were like, "Oh, you can sit in the waiting room, or you can go to your car." But they're like, "I would recommend not going too far away because, like, if they prescribe you anything, the pharmacy." And then I was like,
I didn't even get that context. So you were at urgent
I was
care.
You were at urgent care.
care.
Somebody took your blood pressure
They
and
took
whatever,
my blood pressure. They gave me a strep test. I also got a vaccine while I was there.
and then they said, "Okay, he'll call you."
yeah, and then
doctor.
they said, and then they're like, "Make sure you have the right phone number down." And then it was like, so I was waiting for a call, and then
That
it sent me
is
they texted
wild.
me a link, and I was like, "What?" And I clicked on the link, and he was just waiting there on Zoom.
Hey, Annie,
He was
it's
like,
me,
He was
Doc.
like, "Hello, Anna. Thank you so much for for your patience today." I was like, "What the frick is happening?"
And
Black
while you
Mirror.
did that, I saw an actual doctor.
Yeah, Kara saw an actual
a real
doctor.
life doctor.
Got her.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's fantastic.
Good for you.
I saw a virtual doctor.
And only one of you pays for insurance.
Well, did you get the steroids?
No, because I don't really want to take steroids.
Okay, so you basically wasted your whole morning for nothing.
I got the vaccine my sister wanted me to get.
Oh, okay, that was part of it
Wait,
too.
your sister wanted you to get a vaccine?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
So I can see her baby.
Oh, nice.
Annie's been very anti-vax up until this point.
Yeah, I actually have been, that they even asked, they looked at me, they're like, "Do you want the updated COVID vaccine?" I said, "No."
I didn't get asked that.
Are they still
Oh,
updating that?
I still go, I'm sorry, I go to a real doctor. Kara goes to some guy that she saw in person.
I just
A
got
real
asked
doctor on FaceTime.
I was just asked
texted
to,
me.
real doctor.
to give them all my blood.
That's so weird. They asked for my plasma and a picture of my
Weird.
feet.
It's kind of weird.
Weird.
But they kept insisting that it was free though. It's weird.
Don't worry.
Yeah,
it's
my
free.
arm is feeling a little weird.
That's
And
funny.
It's weird
That
because
is
they asked
crazy.
for my blood, but they kept injecting things into me.
They
And
said,
then
they said
taking it.
take a little, give a
Microchip.
little. They kept saying take a little, give a little. It's weird.
Weird.
What does that mean?
You know what I thought?
Classic practice.
What
In
do
my
you
mind,
think?
they took so much blood.
Okay.
How does my body make more blood that they took? How does your
Okay.
body reproduce more blood?
It's
More
your bone
blood.
marrow. It comes from your bone marrow.
It does?
I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Your bone marrow
I don't
is
know.
like
Fact check
where the
that.
blood comes
Your
from.
bone marrow's where
Help
blood
your bone
comes
marrow
from.
helps make
What?
your blood.
You know what's funny? I've had a few.
So what if you don't have
reviews of
healthy
this
bones?
Podcast.
If you don't have healthy bones, you have a hard time repopulating blood cells.
I've had a few
So you're just
reviews of this
lethargic?
podcast where they're like, sometimes it's hard to listen to you guys talk about
Bone marrow.
crap because
Right.
you don't know anything. And I'm like,
Whoa, whoa,
these
whoa,
are
whoa!
those
Hold on.
moments.
Go
It
ahead,
is
John.
Primarily,
Hey,
bone marrow, you're
primarily
right.
produced in bone marrow.
Yeah, so-
Specifically red
so-
blood.
Good for you.
Hey, I
So
asked
just
my lady,
say
I
it-
said,
back it
your
up
job
back
is, it's called phlebotomy, right?
Phlebotomist,
And she
yeah.
goes, you're correct. She goes, I said, you're a phlebotomist? She said, that is our role, but it is the art of phlebotomy. And I went, oh,
Well, yeah.
okay.
I know a girl
Yeah,
who's in
some-
school for phlebotomy.
Nobody is more passionate about their work than phlebotomists. I'll know that much for sure. Working at Sharp, people
she
they love that.
stuck my arm really well. So
Do you think like
They're
maybe
so passionate about it.
you know the B movie when they
Yeah.
like spin the wheel or whatever, they hit
yeah.
the button and it's like zzz,
You get your job.
This is your job. I feel like we should do that. We should take a test
Okay.
about all the weird things you're into because I feel like the people who
So
are like really into
Divergent?
blood and really into kind of like that. They'd be like, you know what, you'd have a great time being a phlebotomist.
You're a
Like we just
dauntless.
have to find like what like use all your weird
What are you good
interests
at?
and put it into a job
that would be nice.
progress.
Just tell
people.
me what
Yeah.
to do with
Just
my
tell me
life.
what to
It's called
do.
college.
No.
Yeah, it does.
None of
You
us-
have to make that
Okay.
decision
No,
yourself.
none of
This
us
is a
went to real college.
As
generated.
someone who went to college, they do
Real
not
college.
help
Yeah,
you
no.
with that.
Real
This is a
college.
generated
We're talking about real
system
college.
telling
I
you
went
what
to
you
real
should be.
college.
Okay, just like you had a real doctor
Yeah.
on the phone.
Yeah.
You had your real
Oh,
college
online
was on the
college?
phone. Yeah, so
Online college doesn't count.
I'm not gonna
Liberty.
address
Where'd
that
you go
one.
again?
I went to Liberty University,
Liberty
one of the
doesn't
biggest universities in Virginia.
That is so awesome.
Whatever.
Oh, that's hilarious. I do want to follow up on something that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Great.
That has been on my heart and on my socials lately.
Go ahead.
Italian brain rot.
Thank you.
Now we have a little bit of an update. Now, last week we
Couldn't
talked
possibly
about.
get more compelling than last week.
Oh, could it? Last week we talked about all the characters, right?
Uh-huh,
So all the different kind of players that are in play, right?
Yep.
This week, two big developments
Okay.
is they've been having babies.
Oh my.
So sorry.
The
hold on.
Italian brain rot characters have been having.
They're little. There's just like little versions of them now. So they're babies. Here's
Wow.
Tung 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 Sahur, but babies, of course. Here's Tralalero Tralala, babies.
So they're a lot cuter than the originals.
They're super cute, I will say. But the other thing is, some of the characters have been getting arrested. They've been getting arrested by the cops.
No.
Oh my god!
Listen.
La polizia.
La polizia.
La polizia,
no.
no. So there's Tralalero getting arrested. Here's Tung Tung Sahur getting arrested by the cops.
He deserves to get arrested
Yeah.
for being ugly.
He's like a bat with a face. Right?
What is going
Here's
on?
Cappuccina Ballerina getting arrested.
Her. Not
I
her.
know.
Like, can we
I
roll
know.
it back to Cara saying he deserves to get arrested because he's ugly?
Yeah. That's
No.
pretty
Cara,
rough.
Here's-
Cara's form of justice is wild.
It is wild.
Yeah. Here's
You're ugly, you
Trippy
go to jail.
Tropa getting arrested underwater. They've got underwater cops.
Wow.
No polizia.
La polizia no. So there you go. Oh, here's Crocodilitos. Is the baby crocodilo bombadillos. The baby chimpanzini beninis. So,
Wow.
I mean, just something to think about, really,
It is really interesting.
as the
to
story is
see.
developing.
There used to be a TV show that was like After Man, and it was like one day after man disappears, this is what's gonna happen. Like 100 days after man disappears, like a year after man, 100 years after man.
Okay.
And it talks about like how like what
the
animals
earth takes
would
over,
thrive, and how the earth would take it back. I imagine that it's like 100 days after man disappears, AI has now, has the babies getting arrested and the baby Italian brain
left
rats
unchecked.
Crime.
How far is it going to progress?
How far is it going to progress? Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I wonder at this point what is going to be more powerful. Like, obviously,
AI
mankind,
or nature.
we are going to destroy ourselves, right?
Yeah.
But now AI is just going. So obviously at some point AI is going to be like, oh, all the humans are gone. Well, we just have to adapt and we have to build these machines and they'll take over the factories and they'll start, making these machines. Or will nature destroy us with flood and fire and drought and destroy all the machines and prevail and all the animals will come back? Yeah. Which one?
The one with the little Neopets.
It's interesting because I guess solar energy, robots don't really need nature. And I feel like if it was a battle between nature versus technology would just have to basically burn everything, right? I mean...
Oh, and truly the computers have access to nuclear now, so they could send all the nukes and blow everything up.
And they could survive in a nuclear habitat too.
For sure.
Because they're machines, right?
But I wonder if there's a shelf life on even that hardware where a long enough, because the Earth can wait, right? Like the Earth's been around way before technology and it'll probably be around after technology. But how long is that? Will we decimate the Earth before that happens?
Yeah, that is certainly interesting.
Interesting.
I mean, we're gone by then. So.
Mankind is like a blip on the radar.
Mankind's like, oh, they're like, oh, remember when there were humans here? Crazy.
Polizia.
No. Does AI scare you at all? It scares a lot of people.
Not at the time being.
It's not scary. It's annoying.
I think the AI art is really showing me that it has no idea what reality is. It only has what we can give it. ChatGPT is only as good as its prompt at this point. It's not making good prompts. It's just kind of regurgitating information that it already has. So I don't know. Maybe. Sure. I mean, like Annie said, on a long enough timeline, maybe.
I always see those memes where it's you talking to AI. It's just someone being really. It's kind of like the Siri Apple Watch thing you did a while back, where it was you keep hitting your watch like that. I'm like, yeah, that's true. Do you ever find yourself trying to be nice to ChatGPT when you?
Oh, I say thank you.
No, I get angry at it.
So much.
I'm like, try again, more, better.
When I'm listening to Alexa and I'll say play this, and she'll go, now playing this. I'll go, thank you.
Thank you. Somehow I think if the AI takes over, I want to be known as a good guy. I don't want them to be
on the good side of it.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, it's just an algorithm, but it doesn't. You can kill it with kindness.
I've seen people ask ChatGPT hey, are you sentient? And then it says oh no, I'm not. Haha, it's this is just a computer program. But then it's wouldn't that be exactly what a computer program that's gained sentience say to cover up the fact from humans? And it's haha, no. So obviously it is.
You know what they should have wrote into the coding initially is they should just one in every 1,000 responses. It should have just said I'll remember that.
So good.
Because that would just throw me.
That's so good. I'll remember that. Awesome.
No
and then
way.
in 10 years, you get a text from ChatGPT. It's hey.
Did I tell you about? I was using AI to write some emails, some template emails for my new position, and I was like, oh, just write. I said just write an email, informing leaders that there's a meeting coming up, and I didn't even put date and time because sometimes when it writes it, it'll put print brackets where it says date, time, and I was like, I'll autofill all that later, but I just wanted to write something simple. And all of a sudden, it wrote this flawless email with the date, the time, even including the topics of the meeting that I did not give it. And I think it's because I downloaded it on my computer. I downloaded ChatGPT on my computer, and it
went into your info.
I think it scanned my emails, my
way.
notes. There's no way it would have known.
Is that helpful to you?
Oh, it's great. I loved it. I copied and pasted the whole thing. But
I feel that if you received that email from somebody that made it with ChatGPT, you'd be pissed off.
Right.
So what are we doing here? We're just we're not reading the emails. Like, because maybe somebody on the other end is like, hey, ChatGPT, like, read that email and sum it up for me.
Right.
And it's basically just your original prompt. Like,
Well,
there's
it does
going to
that
be a
with
meeting.
my text messages. Do you ever get that? Like, I don't know if I turned it on accidentally or something, but like when I open my phone, if it has multiple messages, it'll give me like a summary of what they're talking about. And it's like legit every time. I go back to read the message. I'm like, oh, it's like it's like if it's a long message, it'll be like asking for this, wants to know about this, and then and I read it and it's true. It's all legit.
So what are we doing? Like, I'm sending you prompts. You're not reading the email that it made. You're sending me back a prompt.
Yeah.
We should just text. Why are we emailing? Why all the rigmarole?
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
how about a Snapchat? How about a professional Snapchat? How about that? That's actually, you know what? That's probably how those guys got into that thing at the White House. All those guys were like, you know what? We could use the encrypted emails or we could just text. And everyone's like, yeah, let's just text. Heard. And then it's like government secrets.
Feels like
war
with
plans.
What they're doing at that level, they should be meeting about this in person, right? Like regularly. Like,
absolutely.
We're paying them all this money, all these people, not to mention they're rich already. And they have one job and they can't have like a daily meeting about this stuff.
I mean, the guys on Goodfellas had it right. You ever see Goodfellas?
No.
He would.
Oh, yeah.
He would not take, the mob boss would never take information directly. So like if Cara was one of my capos, that's the captains, obviously. If Cara was a capo, she would talk to somebody on a payphone, so it's untraceable, and then she'd come into the house and tell me about this thing. So I'm never directly connected, but I'm making all the moves, right?
You're just what's it called? Accomplice.
Plausible deniability.
Plausible deniability is what it is. And so if I'm, if that's the Italian mafia, like, can't the government try a little more? Like, they're texting on their phones.
Lazy.
Come on,
Lazy.
give me a break. At least have
Come
code
on,
words
guys.
or something.
Just mix it up.
I don't know. Speaking of,
I was just gonna go there.
The Italians.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Pope Francis.
R.I.P. King.
How long has he been the Pope?
Since 2013.
Since 2013. We lost
The 12
the
years.
Pope.
Is that so long?
R.I.P. to a legend.
It's crazy because he made an appearance on Easter. I saw that, and then
Crazy.
Next
Do you know
morning-
so J.D. Vance
Yeah.
wanted to meet with him,
Yes,
our vice president,
Uh-huh.
and the Pope wouldn't meet with him. He said, I don't want to talk to him. He even sent one of his bishops to he was like, I need you to go sit with this bishop, J.D. Vance, and receive this message about caring about others.
Mm.
And J.D. Vance's team was like, he would really like to meet you, Mr. Pope. And he was like, okay, fine, I'll meet with you. He had a little photo op with J.D. Vance, our vice president.
The day before he died. That's so weird.
Moments before he died.
Whoa.
Pretty much told him he sucked.
He was basically one of the last people to see the Pope right before he died. So I'm not saying that he killed him.
How weird for him.
How weird for him, right?
Because, like, I don't think how crazy is that you see somebody, like, moments before they die? I mean, obviously the Pope was sick, so it's not a stretch that he died, but
It's just convenient. It's just like,
He ended up dying
now
of a stroke.
call it whatever you want, a coincidence.
we have picks for the next Pope.
We did. Did you happen to go back and look at them?
I did not, but we'll have to pull them up, and because the conclave starts soon.
In 9 days,
And
I
they're
believe?
projecting that it's going to go till the end of the year. That it's going to take till the end of the
Really?
year to pick Pope. Kara said she thinks longest 3 months.
3 months.
That was
I say
The
Is there,
Catholics
like,
can't
an
wait that
over-under?
long.
Is there
because
an over-under
my
on
thing
that?
is he knows they already knew he was dying.
They were already kind
They're
of
already thinking about it,
Yeah,
right?
I
Like,
think so.
I mean,
so I
we
think
were
they're
certainly
gonna go
talking
in,
about
They're
it.
going to go in with their picks already. And they're going to be like, vote, vote, vote.
And
Bada bing,
someone's
bada
gonna
boom.
someone's gonna have to flip, obviously.
Bada bing, bada boom. Why? Because they're Italian?
No, they're gonna flip that, their vote, because at some point it's gonna be like we've been in here for 3 weeks. Someone's gonna have to go. You know what? I originally came in here, I wanted this guy, but after all this conversation, I'm gonna go with this guy.
on a
Already
second.
just
Come here,
barking.
Tom.
He
He just, I don't think the mics picked it up. Already, he's
Somebody
just
knocked
protecting.
on the garage or something.
what?
No,
Really?
I think they walked by with it.
Okay, well that'll do it. He's very.
He's protected
Good
nowadays.
job, buddy. Very nice.
Um,
That was, by the way, episode 223.
Whoa.
What the pick a Pope?
My goodness.
That was a couple weeks. That was like 3 months
7
ago.
Weeks
Yeah.
ago. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
3 months ago. Yeah, it's episode 231 right now.
No, we're on.
3 months ago.
231. You're right. You're
So
right.
223. That's what's that? 8 weeks.
That's 8 weeks.
That's 2 months.
That's 2 months.
Okay.
Thank
Got
you.
him. Got destroyed.
Got him
Jeez.
destroyed.
My bad, guys.
Destroyed.
My bad.
So good. Destroyed.
Fuck.
R.I.P. the Pope.
yeah.
R.I.P. the Pope. And
It's certainly notable. I mean, 2013. That was so. How many popes do you think we're going to see in our lifetime? How many have we already seen?
Oh, that's
Two.
a good question.
3 or 2? I think 3.
I think in
How
our
often do
lifetime,
you get
this is
a
only
pope?
our second one.
Do they always pick an old guy? Did we already talk about
It's
that?
always an old guy.
It's always an older fella.
Yeah,
Older.
look up the history
The
of
longest serving pope was 31 years.
We had Pope John
Wow.
Paul was first
JP.
when we were kids.
Children.
He died.
In 2013, it sounds like. So we've only had 2 popes?
No, because I think another pope died in 2005.
Just like that
I think
movie.
he might have died in
No, one step down. Remember? The big thing was
Yeah.
the one before Pope Francis didn't die. He stepped down.
Yes.
He was like,
Oh, he
I'm
was-
done.
I
He
think
was
I want to say
through.
Pope John Paul died. Then we
Okay.
had that interim,
There we
yeah.
go.
And he was like, I hate this.
and then
I'm
it's
done."
Pope Francis.
I hate being Pope.
Don't
I
worry,
hate
guys.
being
Here we go.
Pope.
I got
Look
you
it up.
right
Do you
now.
think the
I
Pope
got you right
gets like
now.
special privileges and stuff, or is he
Oh my gosh,
always
this list
doing
goes all
Pope
the way
stuff?
back to the first. Hold on, I got.
Oh,
It
you
goes
mean
back to Peter.
like he got to go to heaven? Yeah.
No, I don't mean like. I mean on Earth.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
can the Pope go to Disneyland if he
Pope
wants
Francis.
Yes.
Pope Francis from 2013 to 2025.
to? Okay, great.
Then we have Pope Benedict, which was 2005
Pope
2013.
Benedict.
And then we have this is then John Paul was
John Paul.
1978.
He was the one who died in
Wow.
2005.
2005.
Yes.
So we have
So
had
he was
three. We
he
have
was
three.
Pope from 1978 until 2005.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
That's a long
So
time.
So
then
he
we
had a
didn't-
long popedom.
So then we had someone 2005 to
Pope
2013.
Benedict.
Yes.
Pope
So
Benedict.
we've
Yeah,
had
I
three.
don't really
Slowly
remember
stepped
him.
down.
So-
I remember talking about Pope John Paul.
That's weird because
a lot.
Pope Benedict was the Pope more in your life than John Paul.
Yeah.
2005 2013.
1996 to 2005.
was
No.
9 years,
Yeah,
and then
2005 to
Okay, but it's about the
2013.
same.
8
About the
years.
same.
13,
Yeah,
8 years. So about the same.
yeah, but the first one was when I was more in a Catholic school, and we talked about it a lot.
But you've had Pope Francis for the longest.
Yeah,
Franny.
Franny.
Pope Franny.
Man, that's so tough.
Like,
What a king.
I feel like,
Rest in
well, he's
power.
driving
88
around in that
years old.
Pope mobile is my point. Like, so he's not like going to get a cheeseburger. Like, I don't know. You'd have to really
if
be
he
into the
wanted to
whole
go to
Pope thing.
Disneyland, I think he could. They'd probably shut down the park
Oh,
for a
really?
couple hours.
Would they
for
shut
him.
down the
Yeah.
park for the Pope?
Yes,
I don't think
I think
so.
they would.
But I think if
I fully
you,
think
What's
would.
this? It says
they're gonna choose a guy who's really into being a Pope.
name, English, Latin, and then it says personal name.
Yeah, so they have a real name, and then when they go,
They get to choose a
a
name.
name for their popedom.
What?
So the dude's name
didn't
is
know
not
that?
Francis.
I
Yeah.
had no idea. That's
They
his name
normally
wasn't
choose. They
Francis.
normally choose the name of a pope from way back.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like-
like it's like a.
That's why
It's like
I
a
think
stage name.
I want to
Yeah.
say Pope John Paul was Pope John
Jorge.
Paul III.
It's like
Yeah.
Madonna.
Let me see.
in the same way that they used
Pope
to
John
do that
Paul
with kings too.
What?
Kings would pick their new
He
names.
was the third, right?
Yeah, he was the third. But
Yeah.
you know what his real name was?
I'm
It
Catholic.
was like Julio or something.
No, we're talking about John Paul.
I'm gonna
Oh,
say it was
no.
like I'm
What
gonna
was his
say it
name?
was like Frank
Carol.
Carol.
R-A-L. Carol.
Well, he was born in
Carl.
what, like the
Carl.
late 40s?
Carlo.
It's like Carl.
Carl? Is
Carlo.
that how you pronounce that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
No,
probably.
it probably
Carlo.
was Carol.
Carlo.
What is he,
was
Italian?
Benedict's name? Joseph.
Yeah.
Joseph. And then I think it was like
Francis.
Jose or something.
Jorge.
Jorge.
Jorge Mario.
I saw some
Jorge
plainclothes pictures of him recently. Somebody was sharing.
I sent you a TikTok
Yeah,
Crazy.
that's what it
Really?
was.
of his life.
And he was just like a guy
He-
hanging out.
It says
And then now he's Pope. Obviously.
it's
Well, he's
before
dead now.
becoming Pope Francis.
Now he's
Jorge
dead.
Mario Bergoglio
Bergoglio.
worked as a nightclub bouncer, a janitor, and a
King.
chemical technician. He joined the church, the Jesuits, in 1958. So he went to missionary or whatever. Ordained as a priest in 1969. Focused on humility and justice, and then 2013 he became the first Jesuit and Latin American Pope.
He was known
Look
for
at
being
him.
like a humble pope. Like he was. Wait, let me see him.
That's pretty awesome.
Whoa,
This
what
is,
a vibe!
This is him young.
Hot,
So,
hot pope.
Cute.
like,
That's what we need. I've been saying this since the
I
beginning.
was saying.
Hot pope.
I was listening to the what happens after the
conclave.
conclave, and they were saying that
His
you know
fitting.
he gets fitted for the white stuff,
Robes.
white clothes, white robes,
Sure,
right?
sure.
And then
Pope robe.
he gets a moment in what they call the cry room, because a lot of popes are emotional once they've been ascended to Pope.
I was just gonna ask about.
And they spend
if
30. He spends like as long as he wants in the cry room, like just like getting out his emotions about becoming the next pope.
Like, do priests want to be the pope?
I don't think so. I think it's kind of like president. There was this like iconic moment where the Republican Party really wanted
Go ahead.
Paul Ryan to
be the pope.
Yes.
They wanted him to be like the presidential elect, and he had been Speaker of the House, and he fully was like, no, like. That's a lot. I never want to do it.
But isn't that kind of the thing that, like, George Washington didn't want to be the president either, because he was like, I don't want to be a king, and they were like, no, like it's not going to be like you're the king, and he was like,
he kind of had to make that.
Yeah,
call
like a
where
point.
He was like,
Ryan's 55 years old.
I'm not gonna. Young. Yeah. Well, and when they wanted him to run the year Trump won, so like 2020, so that whatever.
Oh man.
2016.
2016. Thank you.
Man.
No. Yes.
The one that Trump won?
Yeah.
2016.
It was either 2024, the one we just
sorry,
had.
26. You're right. 2016.
Or 2016.
It was 2016. They wanted him to run.
That was the year that you were in politics. So I'm just a little confused what you were doing back then.
It all is a blur.
One too many.
One too many.
Would have been a
he would have been a great president. But in the same way that I don't think that priests really want to be pope. I don't think
is that why we don't have good is that why we go through stretches of bad presidents? Because like the people that want to do it are like
they suck.
The terrible people.
Because they want it for like the power.
Well,
and
think about the guy that wants it. I mean, the guy that's talking about trying to finagle a third term.
I know.
Our president right now.
I know, it's crazy.
Come on.
And it's funny because if you read like I don't know if it's like a documentary or it was a book I listened to. I don't remember. But there's this moment where Barack Obama meets Michelle Obama's parents for the first time. And it's before he was a senator, or it's just when he was in law school. And her dad like says like, oh, what do you want to do? And he goes, I want to be president. And it was like so, and her dad was like, you can't marry my daughter because you obviously aren't like a serious person. Because it was like so out of the realm of possibility to have a black president that he was like, you're just wasting people's time and you have these stupid dreams that aren't going to come true. And like, there was an interview with the child. She was like, I was like, shut up. What are you saying? Why would you tell my dad that?
Oh my gosh.
And he's like younger than her and he's all suave. Oh.
My prediction about the Republican Party is as soon as Trump is finished, they're going to bury him. They're going to be like, thank you, we're done. Like, they're going to distance him. As soon as he loses out of the office, the Republican Party's going to be like, bye, see you later. And then he's going to be like crazy Uncle Donald.
They're like, we don't talk about him anymore.
We don't talk about him anymore.
Unfortunately, it'll be the only way that we understand like not having a two-party system anymore is when the Trump Party comes back in 2028 or whatever it is when the Trump Party, and then it'll be like, okay, are you voting Democrat, Republican, or Trump Party?
Yeah, it'll probably split the Republican Party. Yeah,
I honestly hope so. I'm like, let's bring it on, like, and then like people will take the Green Party seriously.
But they
finally
would be wise to learn from
the Libertarians will finally have their moment.
The Republican Party would be wise to learn from the Democratic Party in this last race, is just to like figure out who you're going to go with and go with it, because that's
it's like this political game of chicken, because there was a similar moment after the January 6th thing where it was like people started jumping ship from Trump's campaign. We're like, oh, I was never, all these Republican guys.
I think we take note from the conclave.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
We decide who's president. They don't get a say.
Okay.
We vote. We the people look at all the candidates. We decide, and they are just president. They don't get to say if they want to be president.
No primaries, stuff like that.
It's not we the people. Do you mean?
No,
I mean we the people are chosen as the conclave, though.
You're saying let's vote with no reference.
Isn't the conclave the Senate? It would be like the Senate and the House.
No, I'm saying let's go even
bigger.
bigger.
Citizens.
Citizens. We're the conclave. Maybe we choose the
ballot.
final.
The ballot is blank.
Yeah, and you write in who you want.
Whoever it is.
And then whoever has the most, say like there's a couple of
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob
always gets write-ins.
There's a couple of people who are like
that
all
would
the
take
same.
more than a year.
All the same people.
I don't know.
Then our electoral college votes on the top candidates that we the people have picked.
Okay.
The only reason we vote
True
for these
democracy.
candidates is because they're telling us that these are the options.
They said these
what
are
if
options,
we said,
and I go
vote for whoever you want.
I'm voting for Vernon Extreme again. The guy with the boot on his head who promises
guy?
No, he promises free ponies for everyone. And then people ask him, "How are you planning on paying for the ponies?" And he goes, "They're free." And I said, I'm voting for him.
I'll be voting for him.
He wears a boot on his head.
So that's 4 votes for him right away.
In.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
I really wanted to write in Paul Ryan that year because I think he would be a great president.
Maybe you should have.
He wouldn't.
You could have.
Because that's freaking how Garfield got elected.
Right.
He went and he did a speech on behalf of another candidate, and everyone liked his speech so much they started chanting for him, and then everyone started voting for him, and they were like, okay, you're on the ballot now, and he was like, and they're like, no, everyone wants you. And he was like, okay, fine.
Because the reality is,
there were way fewer people back then.
When you get to the level of presidential candidate, you're already part of the 1%. You're already rich. You're already making all this money. So then the reality, you're staring down the barrel of like, I think that's what defines like who really cares about the government and who doesn't. It's because it's like, you're already rich, so now you're just going to get into politics because you want to have power, which is fine.
Yes,
and that's the dividing line. You know what I'm saying? That's like a Paul Ryan, who's actually probably a great candidate for the job. He's like, I'm already rich. I don't want to deal with. I don't care about power. You know what I'm saying?
I've got mad respect for AOC. Like she's doing this whole campaign. And her whole thing was like, oh, yeah, I was a waitress in New York, and then I freaking joined politics.
She
and
did
now
a true
here I am.
grassroots campaign, too.
I mean, I have nothing but respect for her.
That highlighted a lot because the guy that she ran against, she lost the first time, right? And then she won the second time.
Yeah.
He didn't even live in the district, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's so nuts.
And that
happens.
It happens a lot.
He didn't even live in the district.
You have to live like you have to spend a certain amount of days a year in the district to be considered like.
You know what? I'm all for blank ballot. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Blank ballot.
Let's do it.
Conclave.
Okay, even better. I'm gonna twist your idea just a little bit, if that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's
Can we do
open
the Pope?
to interpretation.
Can we do the Pope the same way? By the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Robert Philly for Pope.
Everybody gets a vote. But
I'm writing him in for sure.
It's a little bit. Hey, it's a little bit like Hunger Games in terms of the selecting process. Everybody there's
the reaping.
There's 5 people from each state that are just randomly selected, and then those people come together and they're the conclave for the president. So they all get in there. And closed door. When you're not allowed to talk about it. You're not allowed to talk about who voted for who. It's like, and you can get same thing as it's not a law.
It's like jury duty.
The Vatican is like they just strongly advise. They tell cardinals not to talk about what happened in the conclave, right?
Dude, what happens in the Vatican stays in the Vatican. I have no idea.
But I'm saying like there's a non-disclosure agreement. It's like a big deal. You can't talk about it. So then we just send, we have 50 states, 5 people. What is that like?
I'll even go. Let's go.
5 times 5, 250.
250 people.
Oh, you're going 5 people per state?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're randomly selected.
Okay.
It's like this big lottery. It's just like.
And then they fight. How is it like?
No, they all come together.
Because then what's going to happen is the same reason we have a Senate and a House of Representatives. They'll be like, California has way more people than Alaska, and we deserve more votes.
I don't care. I don't want to hear it. They all come together in one giant room, and they're locked in there, just like a conclave. And they cannot come out until they decide.
No, yeah, I agree. I don't think we should get 5 people from Nebraska.
Yeah, hell yeah. 5 people from Montana, 5 people from
Kansas?
Yes.
There's probably like 5 people that live in Kansas. Are you kidding me? And California only gets 5?
You know what's crazy? Is I think it's Montana that has.
You know what? I'm out.
I think it's Montana. So every state has 2 senators, right?
Sure.
It's equal number of senators.
Yeah.
And then it's the House of Representatives is half of your population.
Yeah.
And I think it's Montana that has 1 person in the House of Representatives.
Exactly.
Their population is so low compared to everyone
else's. Who are they going to go
else's.
speak for the cows? They're going to go speak for all the sheep?
Isn't that how the
in Congress? Come on.
College works, right? There's like people that are selected.
I think the Electoral College is the collection of
the population, right?
No, I think it's the Senate and the House.
Oh, okay. Well,
but
how about this? How about this?
And don't quote me on that. As someone who
who
majored
in
it,
the only person with government experience here. Political experience.
Here's the thing that I'll say.
Give it to me.
Nebraska, just like anything else, you could have like an address in Nebraska and you could get selected. So like, there could be people who live in California.
Oh, so you're blowing holes in your whole campaign here?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So I'm gonna go run for Nebraska, Kansas.
I'm just saying it's better.
How about this?
Well, go ahead.
Let's do this.
I'll hear your theory. Go ahead.
We'll select 1 person from each state.
Okay.
And then it is like Hunger Games. They fight.
Okay.
And then they fight. And they're killing each other. Last person
to the
standing.
Or can you opt out?
Most Hunger Games are to the death. So yeah.
Well,
to the death.
Okay. All right.
Last person standing.
Yeah.
Then has to do like a spelling bee. Okay. And so then it's like, no. Well, maybe we'll cut it down to okay. We'll do like Final 5. So it's like fight to the death, and then those strong people, like if they can also spell, then they maybe do a math test, and if they're smart,
that's rough, man.
Maybe it's a gauntlet. You want to be president, you got to make sure you're like an Olympian.
I can't decide on a president because I don't know how to spell. This is not my strength. Is there a math test too?
I don't know. If you don't know how to spell, you shouldn't be voting, probably. I think maybe we should probably just take that from you, too.
Oh, really? Okay.
If you don't know
I
spell,
was just talking
because
to my
I got an
friend.
unfair shake as a child, all of a sudden you're gonna count out my
okay.
vote?
Different than Hunger Games, but similar. Let's separate the country into 12 districts. Okay? Not this whole 50 states. Why are we even bothered? We got 50 states. Oh, give me a break. Okay, we know we're kind of the areas where people live, right? So let's say those are districts.
Okay.
Let's say there's like a coal mining district and like a, a luxury district
You should
and
write
like
a book.
Okay, thank you. I will. It's called The Hungry Games.
Hunger Games.
Everybody's so hungry.
Hunger Games.
I don't know.
I don't know. I am always amazed with Election Day and the fact that I just, in my head, I'm like, there's no way there's not voter fraud being committed on every election day. I'm just like, how do people do it?
Do you think
I
there's
was right.
conclave fraud?
It is your representatives
Thank
that
you.
make up the electoral
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Do you think there's going to be conclave fraud? Like people are
No, because they're all
Fudging
talking.
the votes?
They're
They're all
in the
stuck.
room.
They're stuck. Yeah, they're stuck at
Yes.
the Vatican.
No, for
Oh, no, they're
they're
off
wheeling and
premise.
dealing right now on the plane there. They're texting
They're already
each other.
calling, yeah.
They're
I kinda
texting each
love
other
it.
and they're like, hey, I'm going to vote this guy. If we get 4 more votes, we can sway him. They're trying to get this guy in. And if we can flip this guy, we'll get our guy in because he's way more whatever.
It's politics.
It's politics,
yeah.
but with religion.
What do they benefit from their pope being
They
in
can
power?
become number 2, number 3. Isn't there some sort of line of succession with the Vatican? I might
well,
ask
no,
you.
isn't
You're an American
I'm not
politics.
Catholic. She's the
Is there
Catholic
some sort of
one.
line of succession? Like if the Pope gets
There
assassinated, what
is
happens?
there is a
conclave.
guy who
We do
is
another
there's
conclave.
there's a guy who is directly under the Pope.
Yeah, I picked
That
the
is
number 2
kind
guy.
of the interim.
So who's in charge right now?
The interim guy.
Okay, so what if something gnarly in the world of Catholicism goes down?
Then
Like
he
what?
What if they
He's in
find the
charge.
tomb?
Jesus returns?
What if Jesus comes back? Like, who's gonna see him? Go meet him at
it's
the
kind
gate.
of like the Pope's right hand man.
My question is, so do the Catholics
So there
think
is a guy.
that
There is a guy.
Jesus returns to Earth, right? Do they think
Yeah.
he's going to the Vatican to go meet the Pope? Or is he like rolling up to
Oh.
Vatican City?
No, the Pope is probably gonna know
Pope's
because the
gonna
Pope is
know.
the closest thing to God in Catholicism.
Oh, okay. Oh.
So he knows.
Huh.
He
Interesting.
probably in his dreams
mean-
already
you
had
mean-
Is that
God
like in the-
come to him.
You mean
Is it like in
Franny
the
tell him
presidential?
Jesus
Yeah,
is
you
coming?
mean, you mean
Franny knew. Is that your name?
Franny, who I just saw, the club bouncer, the nightclub bouncer.
I'm
He
gonna-
was the closest thing to God in this earth.
And yes,
Up until
in the Catholic
yesterday.
Church, yes.
If he knew,
Now he's with
he would have played it differently. I think he was playing it a little too close to the chest towards the end there.
He didn't even have to go to what's it called, the in between before heaven.
Confessional,
Purgatory.
No, purgatory.
He
purgatory.
went
Is that
straight
part
to
of
the
it too?
pearly gates. Yeah.
When you in Catholicism, you go to purgatory, and
you-
it's pretty much the second someone prays for you, you get to go to heaven.
It's kind of like you have to stay there until you finish repenting for all the sins you did on earth.
I just
Catholicism
found
is
this out, you
interesting.
guys. Actually, some of our bases are covered because I just found
Okay.
out that the Mormon Church,
Great.
when people die, the Mormon Church gets the obituaries every day,
And they pray for
and they
us.
pray for everybody that's died that they go into heaven.
Oh,
So if
that's
the
sweet.
Mormons are correct, I'm not Mormon, but if the Mormons are correct, I'm still going to Mormon heaven.
Now I have a question.
Because they're like baptizing and
Yeah.
praying for you.
They do. They
But do you
baptize
wanna
the
go to
dead.
Mormon heaven? Do you think?
I'm saying if it's the real heaven.
You know what I'm saying? Like
if Joseph Smith did get it right and we've all just been bullying him.
I'm
and
saying
persecuting
it's
him,
very possible that
Joey
I've been
got it
wrong
right.
about a lot of things. And if the Mormons, this fun little group that's in Utah,
Yeah.
if they're right about the universe and everyone else is wrong,
I hate to tell you
I'm
this,
good.
They're all over. They
Yeah.
have expanded way beyond.
Question. but
I have
like
a
most
question
of them,
about-
a lot of them
question-
are in
I have a
Utah.
kind of a clarifying question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So, the whole purgatory thing, and this is for you, Cara, because you're our Catholic contact on this show. But if I pray, for, like, say, if one of you guys die, and you're a Catholic, and I pray for you, but I'm not a Catholic, does that still get you into heaven?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
But if you're-
I got you guys.
Check.
No, but if
Thank
you're-
you.
Guys, I'm dying next.
No
out of my
disrespect,
friends, so
John.
go ahead, pray for me.
Kara probably has some other Catholics taking care of it. So don't feel like you need to cover her if she dies.
Oh, I won't. No, I won't.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
is
I
like
won't.
the
I'll do it
Catholics
fine.
got her.
I'm just.
No, I'm.
How many? Well,
I will be lucky.
I'll
I will
be
be so
praying for
lucky
you,
if
buddy.
I get my foot in that door. Yeah.
Yeah, you
absolutely.
You will, and you will, because guess what?
Hard
I'm
to
gonna pray
say.
for you.
Hard to
You
say.
pray for me, I'll pray for you.
Well,
We'll be fine.
and that's the thing is the Mormons got me. Okay, the Mormons have me, so I'm good.
I'm just saying, it's more of a backup. If the Mormons are wrong,
And that's what I'm all about is having
I'll
a
pray
few
for
backups.
you, like, and then you're getting it.
and
what
maybe
I'm saying is you're getting
what
it.
I'm saying is like maybe we should go to temple once in a while.
Yeah.
To just
We
to
can't get
cover
in.
some of our No, not Mormon temple. I'm talking about Jewish
We
temple.
should stop drinking coffee too if we're trying.
The synagogue. I'll go to the synagogue.
No, I'm good on the Mormons. I'm covered there. But maybe like, what are some other like?
But it's like one of those things.
Some Hindu stuff I can do just as like
if you get
insurance.
to heaven, like how big is your mansion going to be? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like if you didn't send them the supplies,
Yeah.
then you're going to be living in a shack. So I'm saying if you stop drinking coffee
I
now.
love it. How many jewels are in my crown? Did you ever hear that one? I love it.
that one. I use that one all the time. Another jewel
Sorry,
in my crown.
this is your grew up Christian
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
conversation over here.
Another
Every time you do a
crown
good
on-
jewel or a good deed,
Yeah.
it's like you get a jewel in your crown in heaven.
My grandma used to say another jewel on my crown in
Yep.
heaven, and I say it all the time just for funsies.
Yeah.
And
Oh
if
yeah.
it's true,
My mom's
Your mom says it
says that
so
all the time.
much.
Jewel in your crown.
She's
I-
got plenty of jewels. That woman. She's so sweet.
Yours
little-
gonna be like
a
one of those
little-
tiaras, Annie,
a
like one of those
look
plastic
behind.
ones.
Annie, you've done a lot of good.
That-
Your crown is gonna have a lot of
Screw.
jewels. Annie.
I'm just saying.
You. I just recreated a wedding dress for a girl.
Yeah, you got paid for that though.
Well,
Yeah,
Doesn't count.
and Jesus said, if you get paid for good deeds, it's not
it
a
doesn't
good
count. It
deed.
doesn't count. Ugh.
That's
No,
good.
I'm just kidding.
But
What
that's
about
not always the
nurses?
case.
So nurses and
Sometimes
doctors.
you give money towards like,
bitch.
you know, helping out the needy. Like maybe that is a jewel in your crown. Maybe you're supporting a podcast, let's say. Folks, down in our Patreon, over there at our Patreon, you can support this podcast, What the Podcast. For $4 a month, you can help keep the lights on over here at What the Podcast. And what are you going to get in return for that? Well, beyond a jewel in your crown, you're going to get access to the post show. That's an extra episode of the podcast we do every week. We talk about a little crazy stuff. You know, we talk about all kinds of different things. So for $4 a month, you're going to help support this show. Link is down below in our bio. Thank you in advance for doing that. And guys, another great week, another great jewel in the crown of our podcast. Any final thoughts? What's the over-under on the Pope? How many weeks out you think we are? Annie said to the end of the year. Kara's
3
feeling
months max.
You think by the end of the summer?
Oh yeah.
By the
Oh
end
yeah.
of summer we'll have a
I think
Pope?
we'll have it in 4 weeks.
I'm gonna
think,
Oh, you're going. We're gonna have it quick.
We're gonna have it quick. They've already decided.
Okay, John.
You have all year. You have 3 months.
Kara says end of the summer. Annie says end of the
end
month.
of the summer. Define it. What do you mean? How many weeks?
I say August 1st.
August
Oh,
1st.
everyone-
Okay.
everyone
So
pays
are
for
we
it.
going to have a young John's baby first, or are
Oh
we
my
going to have a
gosh.
Pope?
That's the line.
Oh.
Over under.
I'm going to say over. Jack's definitely coming before.
Okay.
By the way,
No
are we
way.
launching the name on here?
Yeah, we're using it. It's
We
fine.
can cut-
You're
we
good.
can
You're
cut that
good.
out.
You're good.
I say under.
I say under too.
Before
I say
little baby is
I say
coming.
we'll have a Pope before we have a baby.
I'll say over. Just
Yeah,
for
I'm
you.
saying we have a baby before we have a Pope.
Boys and girls.
I
Attack.
say we have a Pope before we have lip sync.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay, that's even crazier.
That's even crazier.
That probably.
You're saying before a baby. You're saying before lip sync. I'm saying before.
You're saying after baby.
I'm saying after baby.
I'll say before
Before.
lip sync. After. No, after lip sync before baby.
That's what Annie's
in that
saying.
window.
No, I said before lip
Oh,
sync.
okay.
All right,
Then
so
I'm
there we
going to
go.
say after baby before the end of the year. That's what I'm going to say.
I say 8. Yeah, that's a huge.
Well, you guys all okay? Fine.
Before what?
After
Like
baby, before
Halloween?
Thanksgiving.
Oh, before Thanksgiving.
For Halloween, sure.
Okay.
We'll have a Pope by Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Locking it in on the couch as always. Cara Tafolla, Annie the Skovmand. I'm Ryan,
I'm John.
and we'll see you next week on
What the
Podcast.
Woo, we did it.
Tralalero,
We did it.
tralala. Tung 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 sahur.
That's so crazy.
Bombadillo crocodilo. Oh my gosh! Wait, you guys. I just found out who the next Pope is going to be. Cappuccino assassino.